Hello, my name is Evelyn Tian, and I'm with Truven Health Analytics and IBM Company. Truven Health is an education, training, and assistant contractor for MACPro. The purpose of today's webinar is to help you understand the roles and their responsibilities in MACPro's Medicaid, MAGI eligibility, and administration submission, review, and disposition process. Additionally, by the end of this presentation, you will understand the next steps for getting ready to work on MAGI and administration SPAs in MACPro. Currently, your lines are muted to prevent background noise. There will be an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the presentation. As we move through the presentation, please feel free to submit your questions as you think of them via the chat feature. We will address these at the end of today's presentation. CMS and training personnel are here to assist with any questions you may have at that time. Also, please note that we are recording this session for future viewing, and the slides presented today are included in the meeting invitation. We have a full agenda for today. First, we'll start with an introduction to MACPro. Next, we will discuss the transition plan for MACPro Medicaid, MAGI eligibility, and administration, including details on a transition from the Medicaid Model Data Lab, known as MMDL, to MACPro. Then, we will review the general process flow for obtaining access to MACPro. This will be followed by a review of available MACPro user roles and the workflows in which they are involved. The webinar will end with how to obtain help and technical assistance, next steps, and an opportunity to ask questions. We will start off with what exactly is MACPro. MACPro is a web-based system for the submission, review, disposition, and management of Medicaid and CHIP initiatives, such as Medicaid state plan and quality measurement reporting. For some applications, MACPro is a new online submission tool. For others, it will be a change from what was a manual workflow to an electronic workflow. And for some, it will be the first time information is collected. In terms of Medicaid MAGI eligibility and administration state plan amendments, MACPro will eventually replace the Medicaid Model Data Lab, you may know this as MMDL, and the paper-based process of submitting and reviewing MAGI and administration SPAs. There are key features in MACPro that we would like to highlight for you. First, SPA templates and implementation guides have been designed to clearly identify available policy options and include built-in logic to reduce errors. This ensures that upon submission, SPAs are complete and reflect correct application of policy. MACPro features an automated workflow that routes each SPA directly to the appropriate staff member within the state and CMS. Finally, workflow actions are assigned to users as tasks to keep the submission progressing in a timely manner. MACPro also hosts system functionalities that may be new to you. We will go into these in further detail later in the presentation. MACPro is being implemented for various reasons. In addition to simplified SPA templates, automated workflows, built-in logic, and clear communication, MACPro offers improvements in transparency via the ability to check submission status, data-driven decision-making for Medicaid and CHIP program, and consolidation of multiple systems for standardized data definitions across programs. Over time, MACPro will be a single point of entry to many CMS applications, including but not limited to the ones listed on this screen. Now, let's discuss the transition to Medicaid MAGI eligibility and administration SPA in MACPro. Medicaid MAGI eligibility and administration will be going live in MACPro soon. This transition will include the following state plan authorities: mandatory and optional MAGI-based eligibility groups, additional eligibility sections including state residency, citizenship/immigration, and presumptive eligibility, as well as single state agency sections. Medicaid MAGI eligibility and admin SPAs currently being processed in MMDL will be completed in MMDL, and soon, all new SPA actions should be made in MACPro. Additionally, upon go-live, draft SPAs will no longer be accessible in MMDL. When subsequent SPAs are submitted and approved in MACPro, they become the official record. Finally, in time, the official and complete PDF copies of all eligibility and administration SPAs approved in MMDL may be viewed in MACPro. The data in MMDL from approved Medicaid MAGI and eligibility SPAs will be copied into MACPro for states to use as a basis for future amendments and to be used as reference material. States will find the MACPro screens pre-populated with the currently approved information except where the MMDL and MACPro templates differ. In order to prepare for onboarding, there will be a series of trainings. Today's training will cover how to obtain access to MACPro, will introduce you to MACPro user roles, and will provide an overview of the state submission and CMS review process. We will have a few trainings in the future. One topic will be administrative role responsibilities in MACPro. Please note, it is essential that all users who hold an administrative role attend this training. Administrative roles are capable of approving MACPro roles for other users. As we review the MACPro roles, we will identify which MACPro roles have administrative responsibilities. Other trainings we'll be holding will include in-system demonstrations on how to create and submit state plan amendments and CMS's review and approval processes. Now, we will talk about how to obtain access to MACPro. Let's take a moment to discuss what you will learn in this section. We will review the general process required for gaining access to MACPro and when each step of the process should be completed. This process flow provides an overview of the steps required to obtain MACPro access. During this training, we will go into more detail on each of these steps. At a high level, here are the actions required to gain MACPro access. First, register for an EIDM ID. Then, log back into the Enterprise portal to request and receive approval for an EIDM role for MACPro. And finally, log into MACPro to request and receive approval for your MACPro user role. MACPro access is managed by the Enterprise Identity Management EIDM portal, which is an identity management and services system that provides users with access to CMS applications. Please note that EIDM is accessed via the CMS Enterprise portal address, https://portal.cms.gov, which is different from the MACPro link, https://macpro.cms.gov. Once you register for an EIDM ID, you should request an EIDM role for MACPro. Please note, your EIDM role for MACPro is different than your MACPro role. Your EIDM role for MACPro only provides access to MACPro. Your MACPro role will provide specific action permissions within MACPro. All CMS users should request the MACPro CMS staff EIDM role. Detailed instructions on how to do this are included towards the end of today's slide deck and were included in the meeting invitation this morning via the links to Medicaid.gov. We ask that all new users begin the process of registering an EIDM ID and requesting their EIDM role for MACPro now. All MACPro users must have an EIDM ID and approved EIDM role for MACPro to access MACPro. Additionally, Some users may already have a role for health home spas or quality measure reporting. Please note that users should only hold one EIDM ID, even if they are accessing multiple CMS applications through the EIDM portal. Once your EIDM role for MACPro is approved, the next step is to request your user role within MACPro. MACPro user roles determine your capabilities within the application. Please hold off on requesting your MACPro roles until you receive a notification from the email address macpro@cms.hhs.gov instructing you to request your roles. The email communication will include detailed instructions. Please note, you cannot access MACPro to request your MACPro roles until your EIDM role for MACPro access is approved, which we reviewed on the previous slide. As a refresher, EIDM is an identity management and services portal that provides users with access to CMS applications. The image on this screen provides a visual of the process flow, which we will walk through step by step in the next slides. Please note that steps 1 to 3 on this graphic are orange, to indicate that these steps should be completed within the enterprise portal using the address https://portal.cms.gov. We encourage you to register for an EIDM ID and request your EIDM role for MACPro as soon as possible, as your role request is routed to approvers for review. When you request your EIDM role for MACPro, you will be prompted to go through an identity verification process. More detailed instructions on how to obtain access to MACPro will be sent along with today's slides. Support materials are also listed towards the end of today's slide deck. Additionally, please note that steps 4 to 6 on this graphic are blue, to indicate that these steps should be completed with MACPro using the MACPro link https://macpro.cms.gov. As we mentioned previously, please hold off on requesting your MACPro roles until you receive a notification from the email address macpro@cms.hhs.gov instructing you to request your roles. Written guidance will be included to walk you through the simple steps required to request your MACPro role. To obtain access to MACPro, new users will first need to register for an EIDM ID via the enterprise portal address https://portal.cms.gov. Then, users will need to log back into the portal and request access to MACPro by requesting an EIDM role for MACPro. Please note, your request is routed to approvers for review. For these two steps, you will be prompted to enter information about yourself. Once you receive approval for your EIDM role, you will be able to access MACPro to request your MACPro user role. The next step, number 4 for those following along in the graphic, is to log into MACPro using your EIDM credentials at the MACPro address https://macpro.cms.gov. You will then request your appropriate MACPro role or roles. We will review the functions associated with these roles in the coming slides. The final step is to receive approval for your MACPro user role requests from your appropriate administrator. Again, please note that it may take a few days for access requests to be approved. Please hold off on requesting MACPro roles at this point. We will provide you with instructions to obtain your MACPro user roles. The process we just went over is an overview of the steps a new user would take to access MACPro. We understand that you all may be starting at different stages, so we have a few scenarios that may apply to you that correspond with the how to obtain MACPro access process. If you are a new user without an EIDM ID or MACPro access to EIDM, you should begin with step 1, to register an EIDM ID and then continue through to step 6, which is receiving approval for role requests in MACPro. And if you are a new user with an existing EIDM ID, but do not have MACPro access in EIDM, you should start with step 2, requesting your access to MACPro through EIDM, and then continue through to step 6. Some of you may already be existing MACPro users for health home spa or quality measures reporting. If that is the case, then you already have an EIDM ID and approved MACPro access, so you should begin at step 5, requesting additional MACPro user roles.